Pav, there's been a lot of talk about how strong Sydney's forward line is, but is it fair to say Frio's has been pretty potent in recent weeks and probably could be just as good even though they're different size players?
We've worked really hard in the forward half chemistry, and I think the addition of Michael back in and Matthew Taberner, really improving his game the last couple of weeks has been enormous for us, and Hayden Crozier as well. So, the nucleus of Mayne and Ballantyne and myself have probably been around the mark all year, but the additions of those guys have certainly helped. But really, we're a byproduct of what happens up the field, and the mids have been doing a terrific job of getting into our forward half and giving us an opportunity. So there's a few things at play there, but it's we think we've got some weapons up there that can certainly kick a winning score, but clearly it's not about that. It's also about us defending and helping the mids and the defenders with the ball going the other way.
You had a little appearance in the midfield. How did that go, and do you expect to play there again, or with Fife back? Does that?
Well, you can ask the coach how it went. I don't necessarily think it'll be a huge amount of time in there. I mean, we've worked at some variety in the different players' games and changing things up every now and then. It was nice to be in there for a couple of centre bounces, but there's no risk of it being a long-term role, I wouldn't have thought.
How much has having Taberner up forward helped you in your role in recent weeks?
It certainly assisted. Another tool there. We've been talking at length about it as a forward group and with Ross for a while about who it is and when and how it's all going to fit in. And he's a fantastic athlete. He's worked so hard at his game, both physically and mentally, understanding forward line play, and it's great reward for him, all the hard work he's put in, and it certainly has alleviated some burden, but what we've seen as a group is that we've all improved together. So it's great to have him playing well, and we're expecting him to continue to do that.
How good's the front half pressure been in the last 3 weeks? A couple of your teammates have mentioned it's been the best it's been all year. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think some of the guys that it's their own personal trademark a little bit. Chris Mayne and Hayden, they've certainly more so Chris. I think Hayden's had elements throughout the whole year. He's had a fantastic season, but Chris is back to his best. A couple of the chase down and tackles we saw on the weekend were first class, and as a result, he's been able to hit the scoreboard as well. Michael being back in there, he's not only an offensive threat and able to use the ball beautifully, but his chase and tackle is first class. So it's an important part of our game, and as I said, our role is not only to kick a winning score, but to help the defence in the mid stopping the ball go the other way.
With a few guys missing in defence now, does the forward line feel a bit of a responsibility to up the tempo a bit and score a bit heavy?
Well, I think we've upped the tempo the last few weeks, and it's been a focus of ours. So, again, it's going to be important come Saturday afternoon.
Matthew, yourself and Aaron and a couple of others just missed today, just a lighter day for you guys before Thursday?
Yeah, just looking after the geriatrics. No, it's that time of year, isn't it? That and it's been a focus of the groups to make sure that we're fresh and ready to go. And clearly we'd love to be training always, but it's more of a management, the individual guys, how much they ran in the game, all those sort of things. So I was just a part of that rotation today.
Matthew, the team's got quite a bit of finals experience now. How much does that help in preparing for another big game this week?
Well, I think the individuals can draw on their experiences in that, what worked for them, what was different, travelling into state for a big final, the individual preparations. But really, it's a game of footy. There's external noise, and the end prize is probably bigger than a normal game. But, they've got it, we've got it, it's in dispute. The core basics of the game of football doesn't change that much. And as Ross says, we're not going to reach for something that we haven't had or haven't had to do. It's not as if you roll up to the first week of the finals and you're not sure what to do. We've been doing it for a long time. So, and that's where we draw confidence from, that action that we've showed for a long time.
How have you been through a lot of lean times with the club? What does it mean now to see it in the patch and sustained success and back-to-back top fours?
What does it mean? I think it's just reward for effort. I mean, the club's made a lot of challenges, decisions both on and off the field the last sort of 3 or 4 years, and it's a huge amount of hard work for a lot of people, not only the 22 that go and represent the team on Saturday afternoon or the coaches that'll be there. all the backroom staff and the footy admin, and there's a lot of people that have put in a lot of time and hard work to make sure that we give ourselves another opportunity of a top 4 berth and a qualifying final. So we know we've got a long way to go in the next month to really achieve what we want to, but certainly giving ourselves another opportunity is pleasing.
Some players like to draw on previous pain from other seasons or whatnot. Others like to block it out completely. How do you handle last year's loss to Hawthorn?
I don't draw upon it. I think that you learn from the experiences and you learn from the things you'd like to and the times you'd like to have over again individually and as a team. But that's a long time ago. The goalposts, pardon the pun, it's a really bad pun, have certainly shifted since. You're right. Since then, but I think it's impossible. Some players may, you'd have to ask them, but 12 months down the track, a lot's changed.
I know it's touched on before. Your quad, you're all good. Everything feeling good. The body's feeling good.
Yeah, I feel fine.
Your form seems to have picked up at the tail end of the season. Has there been a reason for that, or just?
Well, I think again I touched on it a little bit before. I'm a byproduct of what happens up the field. There was elements of my game that were a bit off throughout the year, and I've been held accountable for those and put my hand up for that. So I sort of had to improve as well. But certainly what's happened up the field and the mid sort of getting to work has allowed us to play a bit better up there.